2022 Royal Enfield Himalayan First Ride Review. Royal Enfield confronted that fork in the road when it set out to improve its Himalayan, a lightweight adventure tourer launched in 2018. With an MSRP of just $4,499, the Himalayan, with its spunky 411cc air-cooled single, offered what few other ADV bikes could, an affordable price tag. Updating a popular and successful motorcycle model can be tricky for any brand's design team. Mess with the components that enthusiasts consider off-limits, and the update takes a step backwards in the bike's evolution, not to mention the risk of losing customers. Switchable ABS was added in 2019. For 2022, the Himalayan gets Royal Enfield's Tripper navigation system, a new seat, a larger windscreen, and revisions to the front and rear racks. Its curb appeal was unique too, with a quasi-military spec meets retro sensibility. The combined package added up to respectable global sales over the past few years. Adding to the Himalayan's appeal was modest weight, 439 pounds with its 4-gallon gas tank full, a low seat height, 31.5 inches, and simplicity. Anyone with basic mechanical skills could service it in their own garage or out in the field. Linked by an enthusiastic following on social media, owners worldwide began sharing information about their Himalayan experiences, including road and trail tales, with many describing what they had learned about their Himalayan's mechanical nuances and strong points. There are new colors for 2022, including pine green, above, mirage silver, previous photo, and granite black, below. Returning colors include rock red, lake blue, and gravel gray. The folks at Royal Enfield paid attention. They added ABS in 2019. For 2022, updates include some modest functional ergonomic changes and the addition of the company's exclusive Tripper navigation system, which debuted earlier this year on the Meteor 350. Designed for the Google Maps platform, it's a simple, intuitive turn-by-turn navigation pod mounted on the instrument cluster that pairs with a smartphone via the Royal Enfield. Royal Enfield hosted a press event for the new Himalayan in Temecula, a hot, dry area in Southern California known for its wineries. The surrounding countryside is laced with fine 2-lane backroads and inviting 2-track dirt byways, perfect conditions for a light adventure bike. The Himalayan saddle, still at 31.5 inches high, gets upgraded foam padding and a new suede-like cover that minimizes slip between the seat's surface and the rider's pants. Its small windscreen is slightly taller and wider to block more air. The front racks, that double as crash guards for the gas tank and mounting points for auxiliary jerrycans, were shortened 3.5 inches and reconfigured to offer more legroom for taller riders. The tail carrier rack gains an additional plate to accept heavier loads, and it's slightly shorter to fit more flush with the seat's tail section and make it easier for the rider to swing a leg over the motorcycle. The instrument cluster is a mix of both analog and digital gauges. Info from the Tripper navigation system is shown on the gauge on the far right. Time to mount up for a test ride. With my 30-inch Enfield, I have no problem clearing my right leg over the reconfigured rear carrier rack, and I can get both feet flat on the ground. Thumbing the starter button brings the long stroke single 78x86mm bore stroke to life. It plays a tune at idle reminiscent of those big British thumper engines that populated the motorcycle landscape back in the 50s and 60s. A stylish upswept muffler keeps the Himalayan's exhaust tone 21st century friendly, yet still allows the cadence of the thumper to be enjoyed. The Himalayan's 31.5-inch seat height puts it within reach for most riders, yet it still offers plenty of suspension travel and ground clearance. Find first gear and accelerate away smoothly. The upshift to second could use some refinement, but shifting into higher gears feels trouble-free. The fuel-injected single answers the call for more speed. Cruising along in top gear, the tachometer registers a mellow 4,500 RPM, with the speedometer around 60 to 65 miles per hour. Top speed is around 75 miles per hour, and it doesn't get there quickly. Claimed output is modest. 24.3 horsepower at 6,500 RPM and 23.6 pounds-foot of torque at the crank. On the road, there's a gentle but welcome rush of air on my shoulders, arms, and helmet. The revised windscreen keeps enough wind off my torso to allow for a relaxed posture in the sculpted saddle. After about an hour or so, the low saddle begins to feel a little confining, and the small cockpit puts an acute bend in my knees. The new seat cover minimizes slip, but it also makes it harder to adjust one's seating position. No problem, just stand up on the pegs for a quick stretch, which is good practice for the upcoming dirt tracks. Although its output is modest, the Himalayan's air-cooled 411cc single chugs along dutifully, and its upswept exhaust allows the rider to enjoy the thumper's cadence. As we leave the pavement, our ride leader signals for us to stop, so he can demonstrate the switchable ABS procedure. With the ignition on and the bike in neutral, press the tiny button directly below the dash-mounted ABS light. It requires a hard push and a slow 5-second count to initiate deactivation. Done correctly, the ABS light blinks, signaling that you now have complete control of the rear brake. ABS remains on at the front wheel. Rear wheel ABS resets anytime the bike is restarted. The Himalayan's larger windscreen parts airflow smoothly. The front carrier racks were made shorter to provide more legroom. Time to hit the trail, where the real fun begins. The bike's low center of gravity, coupled with responsive steering and the deep tread Pirelli MT60 tires, makes the bike feel responsive to natural terrain. The 21-inch front wheel rolls over obstacles with ease. It's paired with a 17-inch rear, and the spoke trims require tubes. I skirt around rain gullies, power through stretches of deep sand, and maneuver over unfriendly rocks and ruts in the trail, thanks in part to 8.6 inches of ground clearance. That said,